Best laptops of 2025. These are our favorite laptops that we've tested and reviewed in the past year, spanning all types, sizes and prices. Looking to start the new year with a new laptop? New models were announced at SEI 2025 along with next-gen laptop silicon from Intel, AMD and Nvidia, but it'll take a few weeks to many months before these new models become available to purchase and test and review. So the laptops from 2024 you see below will stay on this list for a little while longer. As manufacturers and retailers look to move out their current inventory to make way for the new models coming later this year, now is a great time to find a laptop at a deep discount. Check out the best laptops deals and our favorite laptops from SEI. What is the best laptop overall? The Apple MacBook Air M3 has captured the top spot on our list. It's the best laptop for most people. If you're looking for a do-it-all laptop that doesn't sacrifice portability and battery life for performance, I recommend the M3 MacBook Air. It's available in 13 and 15-inch sizes, so you can choose between greater mobility or more workspace. The latest MacBook Air starts at $1,099 from Apple and now includes 16 GB of RAM, up from the meager 8 GB it previously offered. The latest M3 Air can usually be found for $900 to $1,000 at Amazon, but for students and those on tighter budgets, I suggest the MacBook Air M1, which is still an all-around good pick for $649. A Windows rival to the MacBook Air has arrived in the form of Microsoft's first Copilot+ PC. Based on a Qualcomm Snapdragon X CPU, the Surface Laptop 7 offers strong application and AI performance and outstanding battery life. It's the first Windows laptop I've tested with a longer runtime than that of the MacBook Air. With a design that's on par with the Air's, the Surface Laptop 7 is one of the best laptops. So is Dell's first Copilot+ PC, the Inspiron 14 Plus 7441, which is the second Windows laptop to outlast the MacBook Air and offers an even longer runtime than the Surface Laptop 7. At CNET, we test all kinds of laptops, from budget models for everyday tasks to high-performance laptops for gaming, content creation and everything in between. Each member of our team has decades of experience testing and reviewing laptops. We conduct performance testing under controlled conditions in the CNET labs and extensive hands-on use. This helps us find not only the best laptop overall but also the best laptop for your needs and in your price range, from a powerhouse gaming laptop to a simple Chromebook for getting work done without emptying your wallet. Best overall MacBook Air M3 13-inch, 2024 8 for Apple's latest MacBook Air. Little has changed from its predecessor beyond a move from Apple's M2 silicon to M3 chips. The performance differences are overall modest, but graphics performance does get a notable bump. The biggest feature additions are faster Wi-Fi 6E support and the capability to run dual external displays, albeit at the cost of having the Air's lid closed. Still, since Apple gave the M2 MacBook Air our previous best overall laptop pick the full update treatment, the fact the M3 version is nearly the same except for faster performance doesn't bother us in the slightest. It's just that much better. If you're still rocking an Intel-based Air or an M1 Air, the M3 MacBook Air is a worthy upgrade. The M3 Air starts at $1,099 at Apple and now includes 16 GB of RAM at minimum to help it run Apple Intelligence, the company's suite of AI tools. The baseline storage remains in an undersized 256 GB SSD, so you might consider spending the extra $200 to double it. XPS 14 9000 series Dell XPS 14 laptop power in motion. AI ready. The XPS 14 balances performance and mobility in a striking form factor. Create on the go with its lightweight 3 7-pound design, slim 18mm size and long battery life. Powered by AI-enabled Intel Core Ultra processors. Best Windows laptop HP Pavilion Plus 142023-8. 5. There are a lot of Windows laptops. A lot, which makes it more than a little tricky to narrow it down to just one. The HP Pavilion Plus is exemplary because it can meet the needs of a lot of people while still being affordable. It's available in 14 and 16-inch sizes. We tested the 14-inch model, which is small enough for travel but big enough that you won't feel cramped while working. HP offers AMD and Intel processors, and it can be configured with entry-level discrete graphics too. There are also multiple displays to match your budget, including a beautiful OLED panel. HP has discontinued its Pavilion laptops in favor of the Omnibook brand, and this model is now out of stock at HP. But you can find our AMD-based test model, complete with a 2.8K OLED display, at Amazon for a reasonable $1.049. That's a pretty good price for an all-metal OLED laptop with a sufficient 16GB of RAM and a roomy 1TB SSD. Best Windows Ultra Portable Microsoft Surface Laptop 7.8. 4. The Surface Laptop 7 reverses earlier ARM on Windows efforts that were plagued by lackluster performance and limited compatibility, with many x86 apps unable to run on an ARM-based system. This time around, performance has improved, and so has compatibility. We saw a strong overall performance from the Snapdragon X Elite processor and jaw-dropping battery life. The Surface Laptop 7 ran for nearly 20 hours in testing. That's the longest runtime of any 13 or 14-inch laptop we ever reviewed, including the M3 MacBook Air. The Surface Laptop 7 competes with the MacBook Air not only in performance and battery life but also supplies a similarly sleek and solid build. For general use, you probably don't need the 32GB of RAM of our test system and can save some money and configure the system with 16GB of memory. We wish there was an OLED display option, and you'll need to do a compatibility check for your mission-critical applications before embracing the ARM-based Surface Laptop 7, but if you can get past those hurdles, then you'll get a well-built, good-looking and long-running Windows Ultra Portable. Long-lasting Copilot plus PC Dell Inspiron 14 plus 7441-8. 3. Dell's new Copilot Plus PC lasted for more than 23 hours on our YouTube streaming battery drain test. That's one of the longest laptop runtimes we have ever seen. Inspiron 14 plus 7441's design is fairly basic and doesn't match the sleekness of Microsoft's own Copilot Plus PC, the Surface Laptop 7, or Apple's MacBook Air. But the Inspiron 14 plus 7441 still supplies a rigid, all-metal chassis and crisp, 2.5K IPS display. At just $1,000, it's a bit more affordable than Microsoft's and Apple's models and is a great pick for a general-purpose, long-lasting laptop. Most people won't notice much if any performance difference between the higher-end Snapdragon X Elite chip and the Snapdragon X Plus chip of the Inspiron 14 plus 7441 model that I tested. Most affordable MacBook Apple MacBook Air M1 8.6. Despite the availability of the newer and better M3 and M2 MacBook Air models, the M1 MacBook Air, one of the first to switch from Intel to Apple Silicon, stays around, exclusively from Walmart, and that's a good thing. It returned with a price of $699, and it's now discounted to a low of $599. As Apple's entry-level laptop, it's still a good choice for a Maker's laptop for basic everyday use. It has great performance, long battery life and is thin and light. The M1 processor and 8GB of RAM offer enough performance for schoolwork, but you may need to embrace the cloud for storage because the 256GB SSD could fill up quickly, especially if you have a large photo and video library. Best cheap laptop Acer Aspire Go 14.7.8 for just $300. Acer's entry-level Aspire Go 14 holds its own against other budget models that cost twice as much or even more. The design cannot be described as enticing or exciting, but it's functional and unlikely to offend. Performance from the quad-core AMD Ryzen 3 7000 series CPU and 8GB of RAM suffices for basic use, and its battery life is surprisingly long. The 14-inch display features a modern 16:10 aspect ratio and is sufficiently bright, but it suffers from poor viewing angles that might take some getting used to before you settle on the right angle to position the display. Another drawback is the tight storage of the laptop's meager 128GB SSD. Neither drawback is a deal breaker when you consider the bargain basement price. The Aspire Go 14 provides great value with its acceptable build quality, capable performance and long battery life. Best 2-in-1 laptop Lenovo Yoga 714 Gen 9.8. 5 with its excellent build quality, adequate display, strong performance and lengthy runtime, the Yoga 714 Gen 9 provides a ton of value and is a great fit as a versatile machine for home use or students. It's a great deal at its price of $900 at Best Buy and an even better deal at its regularly discounted price of $800 direct from Lenovo. We like its solid, all-metal chassis and the power and efficiency you get from its AMD Ryzen 7 8000 series CPU. It lacks some of the refinement and extras you get with Lenovo's flagship Yoga 9i14, but the mid-range Yoga 714 is much more affordable and the better pick for most people. Best detachable 2-in-1 laptop Microsoft Surface Pro 11.8. 2 items help make the Microsoft Surface Pro 11 our favorite 2-in-1 detachable laptop: Qualcomm's new Snapdragon Elite X processor and an excellent OLED display. The ARM-based CPU delivers competitive performance and far fewer compatibility issues for mainstream use than previous Windows on ARM efforts. It helps the Surface Pro 11 deliver a long runtime. The 13-inch OLED display supplies a crisp, 2.8K resolution along with P3 calibration and real HDR capability. It's the best Surface Pro we've seen in a while, but you still have to pay extra for a keyboard and stylus. Best gaming laptop Alienware M16R28. 3 Alienware rejiggered its mid-range 16-inch M16 to fit more comfortably into its place in the company's gaming laptop universe. That meant lowering its configurations and redesigning it to meet the lower price target buyer. It's now easier on your wallet and to slip into a backpack. There are certainly more powerful gaming laptops, but the M16 meets the needs of a broader audience, so for the moment, it's our top pick. The line starts at $1,499 with the Intel Core Ultra 7 155H, GeForce RTX 4050, 16GB DDR5-5600, 1TB SSD and the basic single-zone RGB keyboard. The only display available is the sRGB 16-inch, 560 by 600, 120 Hz, 240 Hz dynamically switchable model. Bumping to an RTX 4060 costs $100 and to the RTX 4070 another $200. 32GB of RAM adds $150, or $250 over that for 64GB. Best cheap gaming laptop Acer Predator Helios Neo 16-2023-8. Like other gaming laptop makers, Acer has two lines, the budget-friendly Nitro series under the Acer brand and mid-range and premium models that carry the Predator label. Oddly enough, it's under the latter you'll find our budget gaming pick, the Helios Neo 16. It is strikingly similar to the Acer Nitro 16 but with slightly better build quality and graphics performance from its RTX 4050 GPU. The only place it really faltered was its speakers, which put out disappointingly flat audio with non-existent bass. The Predator Helios Neo 16 currently costs $1,200. That is high for a budget gaming laptop. The trick is to be patient and wait for a sale, which happens regularly, and the price drops below $1,000 where it's a good deal for a system that has any type of NVIDIA RTX graphics. Best Business Laptop Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 11 8. 6. It delivers no surprises or revolutionary upgrades from past iterations, but the ThinkPad X1 Carbon's security features, build quality and performance remain excellent. Its 14-inch display and 2.5-pound weight are the sweet spot of enough screen space to work long stretches without needing to connect to an external display, while also being light enough for daily travel. With an industry-best keyboard, long battery life and greener construction, the X1 Carbon Gen 11 is a near-perfect business laptop. Lenovo has increased pricing from previous Gen 11 to Gen 12 models to where we've reached a point where the latest ThinkPad X1 Carbon is no longer our recommendation for business execs unless your organization is large enough to qualify for volume pricing. For individual buyers, it's simply too expensive for the performance and battery life it provides. For most business users, the previous Gen 11 is the better buy. Its 13th Gen Core i7 CPU is getting a little long in the tooth, but I would recommend the Core Ultra Gen 12 model only if you can find it at a steep discount. Best Laptop for Creators MacBook Pro M4 16-inch. 2024 Apple's latest update. Its 16-inch MacBook Pro delivers M4, M4 Pro and M4 Max processors along with an improved webcam and an optional nano texture non-reflective finish for the display. The design remains unchanged from the previous version, but under the hood, the new M4 Pro chip offers better overall performance and, in particular, big gains in multi-core and rendering performance. Like the previous series, the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro processor starts at $2,499, and the M4 Max model starts at $3,499. The previous M3 Pro version won our editor's choice for its excellent combination of design, performance and battery life. We are currently testing the latest M4 Pro model and will have a final rating soon, but you can expect the 16-inch MacBook Pro to continue to be among our favorites for graphics pros and creators. Best Chromebook Acer Chromebook Plus 514/7. 8. This new Chromebook Plus model delivers good performance and even better battery life along with a respectably bright display with a matte finish to limit glare. It has more storage than you'd typically find at its price. The model we reviewed lacked keyboard backlighting, which was a bit of a bummer, but Acer does sell models with a backlit keyboard that aren't that much more expensive. It's a fixed configuration based on an Intel Core i3-N305 CPU and 8 GB of RAM. Those specs might seem underpowered but suffice for Chromeos, which is much more lightweight than Windows. With its mix of features and performance for the price, it's easy to recommend for school, work or home.